If you're a center back, this video is perfect for you, because in this video we'll be talking about how to distribute your passes as a center back. You need to know exactly who to pass and when to pass. The thing that you get confused when you are distributing the play from the back line is if your friends are not showing. So you probably get confused who you're gonna pass that ball to. And most likely, a good center back is the one that plays it very simple, keeps it on the deck and finds the CDM or CM. Occasionally, the opposition will figure out that you are looking for your CDM or your CM. So when that happens, they close the central channels, right? So once the opposition closes the central channels, now what are you gonna do? That's the important part that you have to realize, because you can't pass square balls. Square balls for a center back is deadly. You lose the ball, you're done, because you have the ball and you're the last man to defend. If the opposition intercept your square balls, your team is done and they're gonna be mad at you. So you're gonna need to find different options. Most likely, the best way to distribute those balls from the back line, if the opposition is blocking the central channel, is to actually find the wide side of the field, where you can find your winger or your fullback. You can go in behind their fullbacks, right? Or you can turn and play it to your goalkeeper. But I think most importantly, what you need to do if you want to be a good center back, you immediately release it to your goalkeeper, right? Because your goalkeeper will supposed to come and give you a good angle for him to actually have a wider angle to see. Because if you turn with the ball, or if you didn't turn with the ball, you receive the ball from your goalkeeper, from your other center back, you can't turn because you have pressure on and the opposition has blocked the central channel, to release it back to your goalkeeper and give a wide angle to your goalkeeper to receive the ball so you can face the opposition's net. The worst case, let's say everywhere is blocked, you didn't find any options to pass your balls. What do?
Just give a long pass.
Long pass. If I'm your coach, I'd rather lose that ball up there then lose it back here, right? I think the most important thing is the simplicity. So you gotta be incredibly simple when it comes to your passes. You have to keep the ball on the deck and set your teammates up for the success, not failure. When you're passing to me, if the ball is bouncing, could be very challenging for your CDM to control the ball and turn with the ball and distribute the game, because you have to make your CDM's or CM's job very easy, right? That's what I said. When you're passing those 10 meter, 15 meter balls, you gotta do everything you can to keep that ball on the deck. Basically, you have to eliminate their touches to minimal. So they have to have a minimal touch so they can quickly turn and distribute the game. If you send the ball that's bouncing, it's hard for them to control the ball. Now they're not gonna be able to do that, and they're probably gonna take the ball and pass it back to you. You know what I mean? Now you have to deal with it. Because once the ball gets to them, they're gonna have even more pressure, because once they pass it back to you, now you're gonna have more pressure, right? If you make their job easier, it's gonna make your job easier, because you're gonna get rid of the responsibility of having the ball by passing it to them, right? So I think the most important thing to be a really good center back is the leadership ability. Whether you're a captain, whatever you are, like, you don't have to be captain. You cannot be shy as a center back. You have to be the most talkative player on the pitch. If you are a talkative player on the pitch, you can demand your CDM to come and get that ball from you. Be scary, be fearless, demand your CDM to come and get that ball. If you don't demand your CDM, if you don't talk as a center back, now your CDM is not listening to you. Now you're stuck, because you need to pull your CDM in the 18 or these areas to receive the ball, so you can have an easier game. And same when it comes to defending as well. If your fullbacks are not coming in when they're supposed to come in, they're not tucking in. Even your winger, because if your fullback tucked in, your winger also has to tuck in. If you don't talk, if you don't tell your fullback what to do, your winger will not know what to do. So you're gonna have to control all this stuff. But most importantly, to be able to do this, to be able to give commands to your teammates, you have to know what you're doing. Positionally. Leadership, positional awareness, not just center back position awareness, but every other position awareness. So you have to know what a CDM is supposed to do. You have to know what a fullback is supposed to do. Because if you don't know these, then you can't tell your CDM to drop, because then you just don't know what the hell you're talking about. Fullback, you have to know when your fullback is supposed to tuck in. If you don't, now you're giving them a wrong command. Potentially it's something that your coach doesn't want your team to do maybe. When I coached last summer, I realized, like, I love my teams when we put a low block, right? When our team drops from the front line back quite a bit and we wait for the opposition to come past the central channel, right? If I'm asking this from my team, and as a center back, you don't know what your coach wants from you, and you're telling push, push, that's wrong. So you have to understand all this stuff, and it all comes with communication within your team, communication with your coaches, and understanding what your coach wants from your team. So that's, in my opinion, the most important thing to become a good center back. Then anticipation, defending anticipation. A good center back is the one that stays on their feet until the last second. If I'm coming towards you, right, if you slide tackled, I can go around you easy because I'm waiting for your move, right? Yeah. So you have to delay until the last second, where you have no other option but to make a tackle, basically. I highly recommend you watching players like Paolo Maldini, Carlos Puyol, because those are like the king of the anticipation and the king of waiting for the last moment, stalling, delaying. But when it comes to challenging those tackles, they'll do it. But they'll do it always at the right time, right? So always stay on your feet. Patience, which is you have to wait for the right moment. And you also have to know, as I said, the positional awareness, including the opposition, including the striker, because now your anticipation makes you have better decisions on the pitch, because now you know the striker runs in behind, what kind of runs do they make in, do you need to go forward or do you need to stay, do you need to cover the space, the run that striker might make, right? Then we already talked about the distribution. Those three things, in my opinion, makes an excellent center back. But how do you gonna improve these? Leadership. When it comes to the communication, the leadership, the most important thing is to start doing this at the practices. Who cares? You're playing with your friends, whatever. Talk to your coaches, constantly talk with your teammates when you're practicing and stuff. Demand and tell them, direct them the right way. But you have to watch games, right? You have to watch center backs, you have to watch fullbacks, you have to watch CDM to learn what all these players are supposed to do, so you can give them a better direction, right? Then playing, of course. Playing, no matter league, what division, what level, you have to be somewhere that you play. You can only improve yourself to a certain point. At the practices, just like limited, right? You can't do that. So you have to actually play 90-minute 11v11 game and you experience it for yourself. You get that pressure from the opposition, right? That's how you're gonna improve. One of the common mistakes that most of the players make is caring too much. Like, it's good to care, it's good to be putting some pressure on yourself, but at the same time, why do you play football in the first place? Have fun because you love it, right? I don't want to sound like stereotypical. If I didn't love playing football, I wouldn't play football, right? You put so much pressure on yourself. Well, now not only the opposition putting pressure, but now you're putting pressure on yourself too.